I'm in love again. I am so in love. Oh, I'm in love again. The big question, would you buy to let, buy to live, or does Leeds need more investment before you even think about it? Right, let's have a butchers and see wagwan. This is an auction property. Always check the legal pack, as well as auction fees. You may have additional costs and other property problems. Today, we are viewing a leasehold apartment on the 4th floor, 2 beds, 1 bathroom. This apartment has no parking and there is 2 balconies. What a treat! The property is a 5-minute walk from Leeds train station and there is a tiny bit of storage. The EPC rating is C, which is absolutely fantastic. We love a C rating, and the apartment is 71 square meters. The property came to market originally guided at 140 grand. Buying a penthouse on minimum wage. Let's try again. I am so in love with this property. Video linked at the end the last time I was in love, and folks, it's been a while. Firstly, can I just say the road stinks. The development is in the middle section of the road. We already know the road stinks as we have been here on this road before viewing Bedford Chambers, video linked at the end. The entrance to the development is on the back road, slap bang in the middle of the back of the bars and restaurants. The road stinks of rubbish, beer, urine, it's horrible. The road needs bleaching down daily. This development is called the Atrium, and if we just pick it up and put it somewhere else, maybe on the outskirts of town, near developments like Aspect 14, Concord Street, City Island, etc., it would be the perfect location, but this location ain't it. I'm in love with this property and it's a singles video. Just imagine being able to purchase this penthouse on your own. What an achievement! If you follow the channel, you know the singles budget is 105 grand and it's currently on the market for 125 grand. So we would make a one offer of 105 grand and that's it. There's no negotiations, no going backwards and forwards. It's a one offer and done. We are in a buyer's market. If the offer is accepted, happy days. If the offer is refused, then we'll just call the estate agent on the first Monday of every month. Hi, it's me again. Any developments with the property? I love this property because number one, it is a duplex and the first duplex penthouse in this series. Also, the living room and the kitchen is separate, and it's not only a kitchen but a kitchen diner. Okay, it doesn't have an ensuite, but it does come with 2 balconies. The apartment looks like it's set up for short-term stays. There is a mystery door you will see at the end, and I totally forgot to ask, what's behind the mystery door? This property is being sold via the modern method of auction. Let's talk about it. When selling a property through a traditional auction, the auction house would view the property, recommend a guide price, and upon agreement, list the properties in the auction and also place the property on all major property portals, conduct the viewings, whether it be the auction house or third-party viewers. The buyer's solicitors would prepare a legal pack for the property. There is a set date the auction takes place. On this date, a room is hired and people who are interested in purchasing the property is gathered. Interested parties will bid on a property, and when the hammer falls, the buyer exchanges on the property, pays the required 10% deposit plus the auction fees and any other additional charges. Since lockdown, a lot of the bidding is now done online. With the modern method of auction, it's like a cross between an estate agent and a traditional auction house. The auctioneer or estate agent would view the property and recommend a guide price. Upon agreement, the property would be listed in the auction and on all property portals. The property will also be listed on the estate agent's website. The estate agents will conduct viewings, and just like with a traditional auction, a legal pack is prepared. If the property is popular, an auction date is set, and if the property doesn't attract that much interest, it will just sit on the market and be advertised as pre-auction marketing. The bidding is done online through the auctioneer if the property goes to auction. The difference between the two auctions is with traditional auction, once the hammer goes down, you have exchanged on the property. With the modern method of auction, anybody that makes an offer on a property and the offer is accepted, the buyer is required to pay a £6,600 reservation fee or 4.5% of the offer price, whichever is higher. This is a non-refundable fee to take the property off the market. The buyer is also required to pay £349 for the legal pack. You haven't exchanged on the property. You've just paid to take the property off the market. You then have 56 days to complete. Can someone drop in the comments, what's the point of this? If this is to avoid gazumping, why not estate agents as an industry just come together and agree that you're going to charge a non-refundable take the property off the market fee, not £6,600, that is ridiculous. If a property is priced correctly, it can sell through a traditional auction at a quicker pace. Now, I totally understand the modern method of auction from the estate agent's point of view. The estate agent this property is listed with charges 1.5% plus VAT. So their normal fees, based on our offer price of 105 grand, is £1,575 plus VAT, £1,890. However, with the modern method of auction, the reservation fee is £6,600. That includes VAT. Now, I don't know the sale between the estate agents and the auction house, do you know what I mean? But if we just assume it's a 50-50 fee split, the estate agent earns an extra £1,410. And the icing on the cake is the fee is paid up front and not on completion. Has anybody sold their property through the modern method of auctions? Can you drop in the comments and let us know if the estate agent was still motivated to take the property through to completion, bearing in mind they've been paid first? I think a lot more estate agents are going to be selling properties using the modern method of auction. I also get it from the vendor's point of view. It costs nothing to list the property for sale. And like a traditional auction, the property is listed for less than market value. All the costs are loaded onto the buyer. And if you follow the channel, then you know through the traditional auction, buyer's premium sometimes can be extortionate. But at least with a traditional auction, you have exchange on the property. If a buyer has paid the reservation fee and doesn't go through to completion, the modern method of auction, the vendor doesn't receive any of the £6,600. The property will just be listed again. From the buyer's point of view, just like a traditional auction, there is a legal pack to read up front. You have to be sure on your numbers because to pay the take the property off the market fee is hefty and the discount has to be very deep. And like a traditional auction, if you cannot complete for whatever reason, you will lose that money. Read the terms and conditions for the modern method of auction and double check that you are not liable for any further costs if you cannot complete. What is the difference between an estate agent charging a take the property off the market fee and maybe still charging their 1%, 1.5% estate agent fee, obviously, and the legal pack, which all properties that come to market should have a legal pack anyway, and the modern method of auction? Because right now, the modern method of auction, it ain't it. With auction properties, please have your money ready, whether it be cash in the bank, a bridging loan prepared, an agreement in principle. The completion time is 56 days from the date of receipt of the draft contract. For leasehold properties, first thing, our priority question: is the development EWS1 compliant? The sales particular states it has a B1 rating. The lease was created on the 9th of December 1999 for 125 years, leaving a 98 years left on the lease. The ground rent is £180 per annum and increases by 50% every 25 years, and there are no arrears on the ground rent. The service charges, here we go. The service charge is £5,030 per annum. And the service charge is paid quarterly and there are no arrears on the account. Question: within the next 2 years, are any Section 20 works proposed to the property? No. Works completed in autumn 2025 to the common parts and lift, and no further works are expected, according to the legals. The block managers are a well-known company and the property is mortgage-free according to the legal pack. Now, there are some restrictions on the lease. It states no Airbnb, no pets, and no hot tubs on the balcony. Okay, moving swiftly on. First-time buyers, what are you thinking? Is this property a buy or a pass? Channel first-time buyers, we out. The reservation fee is quarter of the budget. The service charge is over 4% of the offer price. And this is looking like a cash purchase. You know, let's do the numbers on this anyway. Based on a cash purchase. Because, you know, some first-time buyers do have cash. 105 grand purchase price. Let's be for real, you're probably not going to get a surveyor. Solicitor would cost roughly £1,500, including VAT for conveyancing. Buyer's premium, buyer's reservation fee, £6,600, including VAT. Legal pack, £349, including VAT. Insurance, £500. Contingency money, £2,000. The cost to collect the keys is £114,149 plus £150 for a locksmith to change the locks. Looking at the numbers for monthly ongoing costs: ground rent and service charge, £420. Council tax band D, £190. Inquire about a single person's discount, £100 for maintenance. Cost before utility bills and a food shop is £710 per month. Landlords, we are up north. Do you think you will get a 10% gross yield on this property? The purchase costs are the same with the exception of stamp duty. It says the reservation fee is included when calculating stamp duty. I hope someone drops in the comments and says that I have read that wrong, because otherwise, that is outrageous. So, just in case, stamp duty on £111,600, just in case, is £5,580. So the cost to collect the keys is £119,729. Looking at the numbers for monthly ongoing costs: ground rent and service charge £420, letting agents fees about £150, including VAT, maintenance £125, so the monthly costs are £695. Looking at rentals, what are 2-bed, 1-baths in the local area on the market for? There are no penthouses to do a direct comparison, so we will have a rough look at 2 beds in general. Let's do the Jim Jam test. Is a local shop close enough to pop in our Jim Jams on a Sunday morning? Looking at sales, what are 2-bed, 1-baths in the local area on the market for? There are no penthouses to do a direct comparison, so we'll roughly look at 2 beds in the local area. What could we learn? It's not every day reinvent the wheel. Sometimes the wheel works just fine the way it is. I feel like this property should be listed in a traditional auction. I love this property, but the service charge and the location, Let's have a look at the sales history of the property. And we have our shop.